appreciate everybody for tuning in as these notifications go out. What's going on, Sergeant? I appreciate you. I truly appreciate that. Today we're just going to be talking about mainly about, like what's going on in the toy community and, some DC news. Not that much, but just mainly today's focus will be about mainly Mattel, McFarlane, Marvel Legends, Playmates, because there's a lot of things that have been just dropping today like crazy. And that is something as a collector and with the community that I really want to talk about. So this is something very important that I want to just chat with everybody and all that good stuff. So, whoever is into this type of hobby, just drop your comments. I just want to just pretty much just chill and hang out with y'all and talk about this stuff when it comes about the collections and overall with this whole business with this market and how things are slowly starting to pick up again with this industry, which is a good thing because we need that. We really do. You see the new Jurassic toys, the new Spinosaurus is supposed to be more scientifically accurate. Yeah, that looks dope. I like it. That looks pretty awesome. All these reviews at the toy fair that's going on, it's awesome. Like I was gonna put the pictures, but I don't really want to put them just because of copyright strikes and stuff like that. They're getting more strict on that, so that's why I don't have no pictures for this. I do have them, but I just don't want to put them for this, just for the sake of it and stuff like that. What's going on, Shay? Appreciate you. Yes, I had a live the other day, but yeah, I just felt like doing another one right now. So here we are, especially like I said, just mainly talking about like toys and collectibles. We'll talk about about DC in a little bit, but first I want to really just focus on that. Like talking about that stuff within the community and things like that. So all that goodness that comes with the hell yeah, you already know it. You already know it. That's that's how it is. So first things first. So let's talk about this whole thing because the community right now is very active and everybody's talking. All right, overall with DC. All right, let's first talk about this whole shakeup with Mattel and McFarlane Toys losing the license. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always collected Mattel, and especially when they had the license for Batman versus Superman, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad. That line was massive. I have all the figures and stuff like that. Well, for the most part, Batman versus Superman, all of them, and Suicide Squad. Wonder Woman, I really didn't really get all of them, so it just wasn't for me. But overall, when it comes to Mattel, they put out some good, you know, toys and collectibles and stuff like that. Now, hear me out because I know the fandom is divided even within the toy collecting community. Now, check this out. McFarlane Toys, when they got the license back in like 2000, what was it, like 2020? Everybody was, kind of skeptical at the beginning. Everybody was like, concerned. I was one of them. I was like, I don't know what McFarlane is going to bring. We didn't know. And look at what they've done in 5 years. And it sucks that they lost the license, but at the same time, let's be real, okay? We have to see a lot of factors and a lot of things that's going on right now. And one of them is that McFarlane has too much on his plate. He has way too much. And when you have too much on your plate, there's so much that you can give attention to. Look, there's a lot of fans that were out there waiting for McFarlane to finish the Halo line. It didn't happen. A lot of those figures still haven't been made. They just didn't continue with it, and people wanted more of that. McFarlane right now has a bunch of lines within, this industry. That's a good thing. But at the same time, too much is a little bit too much. You see what I'm saying? Look, I like what McFarlane has done, but at the same time, I'm not gonna go out there and collect every single figure because, of course, one is gonna add up too much. Two, you need space for it, and three, it's just, are you really gonna collect every line? No, that's impossible. Even when Mattel had the line, all right, when they had the license. Look, when it comes to this community, you have to collect and you have to buy what you enjoy. As a collector, everybody should just buy what they feel that they truly want. Look, I'm not gonna tell you what you should buy, what should you support, but as a collector, buy what you enjoy. That's it. Like I'm not gonna go out there and buy every single McFarlane figure just because, oh, okay, I have to complete every line. It's impossible. You're literally gonna be in debt for the rest of your life because it's just too much. It adds up a lot. And when it comes down to what McFarlane has been doing, let's be honest, he's been kind of sloppy lately. Yes, I get it. He's put out some good Batmobiles with the lights, the size, the scale. the details, all of that is amazing. But when it comes to distribution, it's terrible. It's hard to get these figures. And most of the time, these figures are being bought by scalpers. So it's like, okay, the new Batman came out, whatever. Let's just put an example. The new Lantern came out. And oh, please don't let it be a platinum edition. You get what I'm saying? Because then people, especially the scalpers, are buying from the inside and it's hurting the community. You have a figure that literally went up on Friday, the Batman Begins line, literally a week ago. It went up for pre order on Friday, last weekend. And literally, I got mine's already. So it's kind of like, okay, it went up for pre-order, but how are we getting it already? Like, I get it. It sucks that I already have it in hand. And there's a lot of collectors that are like, I can't even get it. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, I tell everybody, be patient because most of the time, these figures always end up on the shelves and they end up overstocked. Because right now, the economy is really tough. Things are hurting, and not everybody are buying things right now. You know, like you can walk to Ross and you could pick up some of these, toys and things like that. And it's wild because I'm like, I just paid a month ago full price and now it's at Ross. See what I'm saying? So people want to be able to buy these figures, but at the same time, if they don't have easy access to find them, I mean, it's gonna make it tough. Now, with this whole thing that's been going on with McFarlane and Mattel, look, let's not sleep on Mattel, okay? When Mattel had the license right before 2020, that's when they started getting their act together. How? When McFarlane had announced before 2020, I think it was like 2019, that they were going to start getting the line and all that stuff. The thing was that Mattel, towards the end, that's when the first Aquaman movie came out. Look at how long ago it's been. They started putting out those figures right before they lost the license. And then they came out with these other ones. I think it was the platinum editions or something edition. I don't remember now. They made, like Batman Forever, the Panther suit. They made the Flash. They made Wonder Woman, Linda Carter. They made what it was, the old Superman. I can't remember right now. So they made these figures. They made Danny DeVito's Penguin, and I was able to get like a few, not all of them. I only got, I think, Batman Forever and I got Penguin. Those are the only ones that really caught my attention. And the details on those figures were nice for that time. All right. Now we're talking about over what, 6 years, 5 years ago. So now in those 5 years, I was like, at first I was celebrating when McFarlane got the license. I was like, that serves you right, Mattel. Because at the time, Mattel was sloppy. They weren't really putting out the quality, and a lot of people were complaining about that. So that's understandable. Now it seems like the tables have turned, and now McFarlane is doing the same because McFarlane wants everybody in the industry. He's doing things for Marvel, he's doing things for Disney, he's doing things for baseball, he's doing things for DC, he's doing things for My Hero Academia, he's doing things for all these anime lines, and it continues, it doesn't stop. When you have so much, trying to keep up with production is going to be impossible. Let me repeat that. When you have too much, you are not going to keep up with all the demands that the fans want, the lines that they want, especially the quality. And the quality on the McFarlane toys recently have been kind of sloppy. There's a lot of reviews out there. Even when you buy them, you're like, oh, the paint apps are not like they used to be. It's like they're just rushing. Like you're trying to put out quantity instead of focusing on quality. Now that Mattel's going to be getting the line, this is why I also like and enjoy Mattel, because look, I collect the Jurassic World line. All right. Since they've been coming out, I think when they got the license, when Hasbro lost it, was back in the first movie or towards, I think, the second one. I don't remember now. All I know is that McFarlane, Mattel has been coming out with some awesome quality. Now, if you kept up, or if you collect, or if you've seen, you can do a search right now. Look at the Jurassic World Hammond collection. Those figures are so detailed. There are like the articulation on it is insane. And for the price, it's good. It's worth it. Actually, is really, really worth it. So it's like, wow, you're paying for all this quality and it's a decent fair price. So you're like, okay, why shouldn't I? If you're a collector and you like, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, you're into dinosaurs, this is something that you're going to enjoy as a collector. Now, seeing the quality that Mattel has been putting out, they have good distribution. Like with them, it's always out there. Even before, like let's say for example, something's gonna drop like I don't know, next month or whatever season, they're on time. We cannot say the same about McFarlane. McFarlane has been dropping the ball lately, and that hurts because a lot of collectors are having a hard time trying to find these figures. And then when you're finding them, you're finding them at scalper price. And I'm telling you right now, look, I'm guilty of it. I have bought from scalpers on eBay just because I couldn't find certain figures at the store. When Target had put out what was Man of Steel, Henry Cavill's Superman, that sold out. And at the time, I wasn't really collecting McFarlane toys, and I missed out on the Superman. That was Henry Cavill, the first first run that they did. So I was like, I can't find this figure. I paid scalper price on eBay, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I have it, and now look, they released the Batman versus Superman line. Wonderful, I got it. It's amazing. Everything is good, but it just tells you, look, when it comes to these toys and things, McFarlane just needs to be on point with it. And he hasn't because he has too much. And if he has too much on his table, people are just going to not support it and they're just going to walk away. Now, when you have Mattel getting their A game good and they have distribution going everywhere, I mean, they're talking about a global license. Let's analyze that real quick. You're talking about Mattel that they had the license previously. I'm sure this has to do with money because in the end, it's always about money. Think about this. Mattel and DC for 2026, sometime the summer for 2026. Don't panic. It doesn't start now. It's until next year in the summer. We literally have a year and probably like 3 months to start, worrying about that. Right now, everything is still running smooth until next year. When it comes to all of these, distributors, Mattel, I trust in them more than McFarlane because when sometimes you try to buy something from McFarlane, even from their website, they try to scalp you because you're paying shipping, you're paying tax, you're paying a city or state tax depending on where you're from. So it adds up even more. And yes, I'm aware that they give you a coupon and stuff, but not always it works. And then next thing you know, you paid this full price, even a little bit more, and then you could find it in Walmart, you find it in Target, you find it in GameStop, wherever they carry it, and then it's limited because like I'll ask the employees, hey, you guys have more? No, they're only shipping like 3 to each store. How are you going to make that possible for every collector that's out there trying to buy one of these things? It's impossible. So when it comes to McFarlane, their distribution kind of sucks. And when you make it hard like that for the collector's just going to be like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to support it no more because it's a mission trying to find it. Now, with Mattel, they sell out, but they restock quick because I've seen, employees and staff from Mattel restocking the shelves when they would put out, the figures and whatever it is on the shelves. And I would ask them, hey, like these sold out. Are you guys going to restock? They're like, yeah, we already have another batch coming in. So it's like they're on top of their game. When it comes to this, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I get it. A lot of us that are collectors and we buy McFarlane toys are kind of bummed out. But here's the but. Give Mattel a chance because things have changed in 5 years. The technology, the details that Mattel has been putting out are incredible. And right before they lost the license, they moved their figures from 6 inch to 6.5. So that tells you that the detail they were there. Is just at the time Mattel was lazy. So they were trying to be like, we'll just pump out this figure and whatever. People weren't really buying the 6 inches. So they were moving on to the 6.5 because, of course, you have Marvel Legends. And Marvel Legends and Hasbro against Mattel were getting their money's worth because Mattel had a good price point. They were like, what, 19.99 at the time? And then McFarlane, how many times have they been raising up the prices? It started at 19.99, then it went to 22.99. Now they're at 24.99. And if you have, the build a figure, collect a figure, whatever it is that comes with it, it's like what, like 25.99? I've seen that at GameStop. So it's pretty wild and it adds up. For 2 figures, you're already spending almost what, like $50 and add tax to that. Now imagine you have to get a set of 4. It adds up even more. So people are not spending and don't have that kind of income. Like right now with the economy, things are tough. That's where everybody's at right now. So we can all relate and we know like the struggle because we're all in this together. Exactly, Shane. McFarlane's too expensive for the quality that they're putting out. Honestly, Mattel is doing the same, and I know that Mattel's going to put out some good stuff once they get that license next year. Who knows what they're working on, but whatever they're going to put out, I know as a fan that they're going to put good stuff because again, you have to follow them and see their work. They're putting some amazing work into these Jurassic World figures. You have the basic figures and then you have the collector figures. You have the articulation, the details, the sculpture, everything is different. But you get two options. There's for the collector that wants to just buy something nice, decent for a decent price, or the hardcore collector that this one comes with like details, like the eyes are made out of like some glass looking thing. Like it's very realistic. They even give you the what is it, the rubber feel, so it could be like, you know, that real texture or whatever to try to keep up how they did with Kenner back in the 90s. So that's a good little, you know, feature that they do. McFarlane, on the other hand, is sometimes it's a hassle, honestly. Like if I find a figure, so be it. But I'm like, if I don't find it, it is what it is. Because sometimes you go into a store and you're like, I hope I find this figure. And then you find a variant. And then you look on eBay and the variants are going triple the price. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I don't collect variants. It depends who it is and what it is. But I'm like, you know what? If I just collect one, so be it. That's it. If I could collect three, so be it. But now that's going to make it hard because, especially with the gold edition, you know, the gold and the platinums and all that stuff, now everybody's going to be going nuts because they're thinking that everything is already going to sell out. It's not like that, you know? It's just right now, McFarlane has the last, you know, left runs of whatever he wants to do. So he needs to milk it. From here until June of 2026, we're going to see so many things McFarlane is going to be pumping left and right back to back. And if you see it, the same thing is happening, and we already know that Hasbro tends to do. Look, Deadpool and Wolverine literally is best MCU movie since Endgame. We need more R-rated stuff in MCU. Yeah, that's true. When it comes to the Marvel Legends, look, Marvel Legends have gone up in price, but it depends what you're gonna get. Of course, they know that they're gonna milk everybody with Spider-Man. So, do you really want to go out there and pay $50 for a Spider-Man? No. Like, even I don't support that, honestly. But while we're now talking about Marvel Legends, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm part of the problem also because Marvel Legends just put out that new Venom and that whole wave for Spider-Man 2 from the Gamerverse. I like that Venom. It's expensive. $59 for a figure. But I'm like, you know what? I pre-ordered it. I'm guilty. Yes, I know I'm part of the problem. But I'll rather pay $59.99 plus shipping. I mean plus tax because it comes free shipping or whatever. The thing is, I don't want to pay once that sells out scalper price because scalpers are going to have a feast once that figure goes out into the market. You know, the other day I went to a local comic store with some friends, and honestly, they had the Carnage, the one from what is it? The movie, the Marvel Legends, the most newest Carnage that they have is like probably 8 inches on, 8 inches tall. I got that figure. I got it on a sale when Target had it. You know, I was fortunate. I got it. They were trying to sell it at this comic store for 3 times the price. Let that sink in. So you have a comic store that's scalping it. And that's not the only one. There's several comic stores that are scalping us. And it's like, why am I going to pay that price? That's insane. You know, I get that Hasbro loves to put out the same mold to a figure multiple times. They do it with Transformers all the time. They do it Marvel Legends. We see that plenty of times. Sometimes they'll go back and change one or two things, but for the most part, it's like, damn, you know, like, do I really need like 5 Optimus Primes but in different colors? Do I, you know, it's like, do I really need 8 Megatrons? No, I really don't. You know, and recently I've been trying to get rid of some of my collection just to make up space, and at the same time, it's like I look at it, and that's the point with these companies. They want us to be tangled up and be like, you know what? You need 5 of the same figure. This one has this, but this one doesn't have that. They just make it much more difficult for us. And when you have McFarlane and you have Mattel, you have Marvel Legends, it just makes you like, whoa, okay, now I really need to step back. And which one do I really want to have for my collection because it adds up. 24.99, $50, 39.99. It's like add that up. You're already almost like about almost what, like 80, $90 in the hole. So it's like, damn, do I really want to? And especially if you're a collector from different lines. Like I collect from Mattel, McFarlane, Marvel Legends, Playmates, you know, whatever catches my attention. Bandai, it all depends. And the price point is one thing, but at the same time, we also want quality. So I understand that as a collector, and I see and I can relate to a lot of people in the community, and that's why I'm like, you know what, we need to talk about this because this whole license thing with McFarlane and Mattel, to me, it's not really concerning. I'm like, you know what, it's business, it's money. As long as they're putting out good content, good quality for us to collect and add to our collection, so be it. You know, um, Playmates just announced, recently the what is it, the Power Rangers reignition, and we saw a leak that came out today. We saw the actual pictures of what they're gonna look. There's two types. You have the basic ones that are gonna be at 9.99, and then you're gonna have the collector ones, which were a lot much better. They look much more badass, honestly. I'm even interested in probably getting some just because they look cool. But then at the same time, like, do I really want that? I mean, I already have some Power Rangers. Like, you get what I'm saying? It gets to that point. They look nice, don't get me wrong. And they're coming out, like Playmates they're swinging and they're swinging hard. They want us, the collectors, because they know we're going to spend money. When you have, again, all these companies putting out good product, all right, what's the price point? That's where you really get the consumer. You have Playmates that the basic figures, and let's not forget, Playmates are the ones that recently acquired the license from Hasbro for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line because Hasbro doesn't want to deal with that because we already know that Hasbro is just like DC right now. They're like WB, they're sinking. So they're just selling assets and, not selling, but they're renting out licenses and stuff like that just so other companies can make them and stuff like that. So that's understandable. But when it comes to quality, if they deliver quality, that's where you're gonna have the fans. If you don't give the fans that quality, they're just gonna be bashing on you, and in the end, your stuff's just gonna probably end up at Ross anyways because people are not gonna be out there supporting it. And it's tough right now being a collector. I know I've been saying that for a while, and this market is right now shaking, and it's crumbling because of course you have all these movies that are coming out, they're not performing well, and honestly, it's concerning. It's really, really concerning. So I get that part. And as fans, we want first good movies, second good merchandise we can collect. When you cater to the fan and you give them what they truly want and what they like, they're going to keep on supporting it. Look, Ray, I see what you're saying. That Minecraft, look, that movie of Minecraft, we feel the burn when Minecraft bombs and Supergirl doesn't even come out. Look, that Minecraft movie is going to tank so bad at the box office. Like all that stuff, all that merchandise is going to end up so fast at Ross and at Ollie's and at clearance, literally. And that movie is not getting no type of attention right now. It's not. They're not going to make their money back. And that's going to show you that's going to be the first flop of 2025 from Warner Brothers. That's going to hurt them big time. They think that they're going to make all this money because, of course, Jason Momoa and they got Jack Black and all that stuff. That doesn't matter. We saw it in Joker 2, how not even Lady Gaga was able to save Joker 2. Look at how bad that did at the box office. So fans are tired of it. It's completely like it's too much. It gets to the point where like fans are just like, you know what? I don't even care. So what do we do? Nothing. Just don't watch it. That's it. And that's what's gonna happen. Minecraft is going to seriously tank at the box office. They're not gonna make some serious money. They wish that they could make some money like Sonic and all this stuff, but in reality, that movie is going to be another disaster for Warner Brothers, and it sucks and it's sad because, again, instead of them making profit, they're about to lose so much money with that movie. I don't even know who approved of that movie, and that's just gonna hurt their company even more. And we're seeing it. We're seeing how everything right now is with the stocks and all this stuff. So I understand that part, you know. So now jumping into DC, let's talk about mainly DC right now. This whole thing with what with James Gunn announced with lanterns, and you know the Superman, that he put up a picture of the boots and the cape. The memes on that one are twice as worse than the first time Superman was with the boots, sitting down on the couch or whatever the hell he's sitting on with the blasting effect in the background. Yo, I've seen all type of memes with that. Superman pulling down his underwear with stains on it. I've seen them stepping in poop. It's great. It's completely insane seeing how all of that is right now. And let's not forget, Superman is a new route that the studio wanted to go. They're going with the full reboot, and it's nothing but comedy, literally, of memes. And of course, James Gunn came out recently saying, hey, like it's going to be full of humor. So that's one down. Another thing, too, now they're doing reshoots for Superman. So hold on. Let's pause right there. I thought, what happened? What happened to all the fans that said, "Oh well, James Gunn doesn't need to do reshoots because the movie is going to be great," and blah blah blah, and all these excuses, right? And now they're doing reshoots because James Gunn has been hearing the criticism and all the feedback. So apparently, he's trying to work on it before it releases. But we the fans know that that movie is also going to tank and be the second flop of this year at the box office for Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has been panicking, and they're so nervous because they know that they're not going to live up to the name of Superman with this reboot. Look, I told y'all, remember we spoke about it over 2 weeks ago. That whole picture with James Gunn and Zack Snyder. I told majority of y'all, don't believe it. Don't put your hopes into it. And a lot of people got let down because you can see it also all over social media. People were like posting comments and stuff like that. To the ones that held on and didn't fall for the trap, congrats. Props to you because we know what's up. The studio will continue to use and fabricate all these lies. I've told y'all over a year ago that that's what was going to happen with this reboot. And as we get closer to this Superman release, they're going to be fabricating all type of lies. They're going to be saying it's the number one movie in the world. It's the this and it's the that, and everybody's loving it, and critics and this and that. And then, of course, you're going to have the show media known as Rotten Tomatoes. And they're going to come out and say Superman's going to be in the high 90s. And you're going to see, watch, they are going to be so desperate trying to market this movie to an audience that doesn't exist, honestly. Because the audience for Superman are kids. That's it. They're trying so hard to target the kids, but kids of today don't care about this. They don't care about superheroes, honestly. The ones that care about it are adult collectors, adult teenagers. These are the people that are really into it, because when you see all these memes back to back, the best one that I've seen so far is the one with Superman, and he has his he has his trunks on the ground and you see the stains on it. Yo, like the internet is rough. They're the internet is they're going ham on Superman, honestly, and completely nuts right now. You're gonna collab with harsh critics? Hell yeah, we got something coming up. So I'm letting y'all know. Let him know also. Tell him that you want us to do a collab. We already said yes. We're just gonna pick out the day. So we are going to be doing something very soon. Just look out for that. All right. Like I said, I heard y'all. I'm doing what I can, and it's going to happen. So I'm telling y'all, just keep posted on that. We will. James Gunn's Diaper Man is going to flop harder. Even that image I saw with his underwear down. Yeah, that's the image that's going around everywhere, and it's just wild. But honestly, look, the studio asked for this. They wanted that. They're getting it. And it's just a matter of time for the studio to realize, and they're gonna be like, you know what? We should have never done this reboot. What do we do now? They're gonna have to move to the plan B. Remember, I told y'all things are right now up in the air, and they're kind of paused if you see it. Very interesting because look, let's be real. From here to Superman, James Gunn is announcing all these updates. We're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. He's trying to make everything look like, whoa, it's gonna be a huge, massive universe. What he's not looking at is from now to Superman. Remember, James Gunn himself said it. All the pressure is on James Gunn's shoulder right now with the weight of Superman. If Superman doesn't perform well at the box office, and we know that it's not, everything else is going to get canned. Everything is going to get canceled. It's not going to see daylight. You can kiss Supergirl goodbye. You can kiss Lobo goodbye. You can kiss everything bye because none of that is going to happen after Superman flops. Think about it. Why would the studio move forward with another massive flop? And this is the beginning of their reboot. There's no more excuses, people. There's none. To all the James Gunn supporters, there's no more excuses. You've already ran out of excuses. Superman is the start officially of your DCU, and it's DOA, and it's done before we even get to July. We have just entered March. Today is the first, right? March, April, May, June, July. You have 4 months, and you're almost getting to the 90-day of Superman. As we get close, you're going to see how they're going to come up with all these marketing lies. Remember, those are all marketing lies. They're going to try to fool us and say, oh, well, look, we have something with Zack Snyder. They're going to try to use Zack Snyder's name again. Don't fall for it, people. I'm telling you right now, do not fall for it because James Gunn knows that he's going to try to bait a lot of fans with that. We know that Creature Commandos is not doing well. We know that the Suicide Squad flopped. We know that Peacemaker, not a lot of people are interested in that. That silliness. And then now hearing the reports and the rumors that they're doing reshoots for Superman is already a red flag. For them to say, hey, we have to do reshoots, we're re editing. Notice how they're trying to be quiet about that, but people are talking about it. It's out there already. Two, the screenings are not doing as well. That's another red flag. All these early screenings of people complaining left and right, I'm telling you, that's the second red flag. The costume. Notice how James Gunn hasn't, till this day, officially posted a picture of his Superman in the full costume. What is he scared about? What is he nervous about? He puts up a picture of the chess emblem of the S. He puts up a picture of the boots. He puts up a picture of things that nobody cares about. How about you fully reveal your whole Superman costume? You know why? Because he knows the backlash that's coming from it. And that's the embarrassing part. The studio must be nervous of how bad this is turning out for them. And reality is going to hit them once they see that the release of Superman, and not even the release, days before, weeks before, ticket sales are not going to be moving. If you thought that Joker 2 was bad, prepare yourself and buckle up because the flop of Superman, once it comes out, is going to be so bad it's going to hurt WB for a long time, honestly. And what happens after it flops? WB needs to really seriously consider on what they're going to do next. It's like chess. What's your next move? Do you go this way or do you go that way? If you don't listen to the fans and you don't give the fans what they want, you already know that you need to restore the Snyderverse. You already know that you need to release the air cut. You already know that we want Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, a Ben Affleck movie, Man of Steel 2. We want all this that was promised to us, and it was stripped and taken away from us. The fans don't forget that. This is why we continue to have our wallets closed, and it's been affecting and it's been hurting this company. That's what you have to do. As fans, you let them know, hey, look, I'm not down with this. Either you give me what I want and I'll give you money, or vice versa. You don't. And I'm telling you, things are about to shift and change for the good. Exactly. Comics of Tomorrow. WB brought Snyder back to work on the 300 series. Yes, we know that. Now, that plan B that we all spoke about over what? Over a month ago, I mean, a few months ago, plan B. I think Plan B is being worked on while Zach is going to be doing that 300 series. Notice how ever since they announced, not announced, but since Zach, I mean it's not Zach, James Gunn used Zack Snyder's name for fame, how the stocks have slowly started to go up. Is that coincidence? No. But notice how nothing after that picture has been helping because everything has been starting to slowly go back down again. How come that momentum is not going? See what I'm saying? Because again, the fans and a lot of people don't trust this company no more. So WB right now is in a situation where one, the fans don't believe you anymore. And when you don't have the loyalty of the fans, that's where the big problem comes in. The studio, WB Studios or whatever they're called, DC Studios, they know that they're in deep, they're in deep shit, honestly. When you have all these memes coming out back to back, and you have all of these, fans just completely coming up with memes for your company about a new reboot that you're doing, that doesn't help. It just makes it worse. When your merchandise and your products are not moving like you plan on, that's terrible because of course they need money to finance and do whatever they do. So what's the plan? Bring Zach back. We all told you Joker 2 was going to tank. And what happened? The studio still did what they wanted to do. We said it. We don't need a Joker 2. And look at how that ended. Should have never done it. And it would have been completely a classic. The first Joker obviously is a classic, but the second one, it just ruins it. See what I'm saying? How come James Gunn keeps on delaying the Batman? Because James Gunn doesn't care about Matt Reeves. James Gunn doesn't care about the Batman fans, and most of all, James Gunn doesn't care about any other Batman but his own. James Gunn is just focused on what James Gunn is gonna do. Peacemaker, this, I mean, what is this thing? Superman and Supergirl and whatever is going to be connected into his universe. But in the end, I'm telling y'all, all of those projects that he's announcing are not going to see daylight. Notice how James Gunn himself even said that Lanterns is not going to be based and focused on the comics. He's just using the name of Lanterns. That's it. That's it. Just like they did with Joker. Not focused on the comics. They're just using the name for fame, and that's it. Oh, it's a Joker movie, but it's really not connected to the comics. Same thing with Lanterns. Oh, it's gonna be some type of drama crime. Who knows what the hell? That's just me speculating. It's probably gonna be something like that, and we're probably going to see maybe once or twice a clip of them using the what do you call it, CG to do the whole green thing with the ring and stuff like that. And most of the show, I'm telling you, one, it's not gonna see daylight. Two, if it does, it's going just probably to be one season and that's it. Because remember, that's supposed to come out, I think, in 2026. While James Gunn is still there, he's gonna try to like fast pace and do all and everything that he can with his whatever projects and ideas, because of course it's James Gunn. He only cares about what he wants to put out. So he's gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna do whatever I can so he can leave his quote unquote legacy. And that's what I'm seeing that's gonna happen. You know, in the end, the studio's not gonna stop making movies. They can't because they make a lot of money from it. They make merchandise, they make everything. So why would they stop? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Why would you stop production on movies? What they are gonna have to do is really look at the big picture and say, you know what do we do now? You know what you need to do. Just do it. Just give the fans what they want, the Snyderverse. Give the fans the air cut. Give the fans what you promised with that original slate that you took away from us. Once you put that out, just announce it, you're going to see all the change and everything is going to improve for the studio. Right now, you can see that it's proven with James Gunn, there's no excitement. There's not enough fan demand. And most of all, there's no quality. James Gunn doesn't care about superheroes. James Gunn doesn't care about quality. James Gunn only cares about stupidity, how ridiculous it's going to be, and completely how like silly it's going to be. Everything that we've been seeing, and a lot of, you know what, this is another thing too. There's a lot of people, especially Marvel fans. Look, I'm a Marvel fan, but I don't fall into that category. There's a lot of Marvel fans and shills that like to say, well, James Gunn with Guardians of the Galaxy, he did this and he did that. It's funny because they always have to bring out Guardians of the Galaxy. How come Those James Gunn supporters can't say, well, the Suicide Squad this and the Suicide Squad that. That's right, because it flopped. It was garbage. It tanked, period. Peacemaker, it's only getting a season 2 because James Gunn is in power. And while James Gunn is in power, of course he's going to do that. Because, of course, it's James Gunn. What happens when all of these products and projects and movies and shows don't get the views that they want? They have to cancel it. They have to stop it. It's not going to work because it's not making them money. It's costing them money. And with this whole thing that they're going to be doing in 2026 with Comcast, remember, Comcast is going to be doing not a partnership, not a merger. They're just going to be doing some type of network with Warner Brothers. And that starts in January 2026. That's why I'm telling y'all a lot of changes are going to be happening from here on forward. After Superman flops at the tank off at the box office, we are going to see massive updates because that's going to shift everything for WB. You think that when Superman fails at the box office, the studio's going to be like, yeah, you know what? Let's just do another Superman 2 to it, even though this one flopped. Because rumor has it that James Gunn is working on a script to do Superman 2. So hold on. The first Superman hasn't even been released. And James Gunn said that they wouldn't approve or move forward with anything unless there's a solid script and everything it's approved. But now you're writing a script of part 2 to your Superman? It doesn't make sense. Supergirl. Now James Gunn has the excuse of, oh, it's going to be a while before we see Lobo as, fully revealed. Yeah, because everything is up in the air. I'm sure that the executives at WB are like, you know what? Everything has to be on pause. You can announce it, but everything is on hold with the success, if it succeeds, with Superman. And we already know that that's not going to work. It's going to hurt them. And seeing them in this situation, WB knows what's up. Now, does WB have the balls to do it? That's the good question. You could have all these ideas, you could have all these projects the same way that Zack Snyder had all these concepts. Remember when WB told us we're gonna get Zack Snyder's Justice League 1, 2, 3. We're supposed to get David Ayer's Suicide Squad, and then we're supposed to get Gotham City Sirens. We're supposed to get a Cyborg movie. We're supposed to get a proper Flash movie. We're gonna get a Ben Affleck standalone film. We're supposed to get Man of Steel 2. All these things stopped, not because of Zack, but because of WB. Now, if you have the studio coming and saying all these things, approving and then not approving, changing, let's not forget, Toby Emmerich is the reason why we didn't see Wayne T. Carr's Lantern in Zack Snyder's Justice League, because Toby Emmerich told the studio to not allow Zack to do it. It's out there. And what did Zack do? He told us, here's the picture. I just can't release the footage because WB doesn't allow it. But the footage is there. And the best part about that, and it's amazing, Zack Snyder filmed that in the backyard with green screen. There's pictures out there. The proof is out there. So when you have these James Gunn fans saying, "Oh, that nothing is good," blah blah, it's just excuses because they're nervous. They know that the Snyderverse is going to get restored once the DCU tanks, and the DCU doesn't have a solid foundation. So how are you going to come and tell us, the real fans, hey, this new reboot is what this company needed? No, it's not. No, it's not. If you give the fans what they want, especially what you announced, watch, your stocks are going to double. And not only that, you're going to win the support of the fans again. You're going to win their trust because they're going to be like, you're listening to us. That's what's going to change. Now, from here, like I said it the other day, I want to emphasize something. The other day, I said that I'm not going to be giving ideas anymore of how WB can fix and they can fix their mistakes. We shouldn't. As a matter of fact, none of us should. You know why? Because if James Gunn is taking notes and listening to what we're saying, I'm sure he's seen my channel. I'm sure he's probably come across it. They're like, oh, look at this nut always talking about you, whatever. That doesn't phase me. The point is, we cannot give them ideas so they can work and fix their problems. Because from here to July, whatever it is that they're doing is going to be on them. I'm not going to be here giving them ideas and say, you need to do this and you need to do that. You need to fix this, you need to fix that. You're not. You know why? Because all we're doing is helping them. What we need to do is not say a word and let them dig their own hole. So when the time comes, they are going to be in that financial disaster even deeper. Because in the end, they're going to see, hey, these fans, they know what's up. They know what they want. Why are we not catering and giving to them what they want? You think that Comcast, when they come into play next year, are going to be cool with all these flops? They're going to be like, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's approve of this movie. We don't care. No, Comcast doesn't play that. Comcast is serious. They're like Disney, they're about making money. So why would they approve and say, hey, let's bring back James Gunn, even though he's costed us so much to do more projects? It wouldn't make sense, right? It wouldn't make logic. Why would you do that? You shouldn't be in business if you're going to approve of that. What they need to do is just give to the fans what they had promised before this whole reboot. Go back and fix it. You have the Flash. That's all I'm going to say. You have the Flash. With the power of the Flash, the multiverse, everything is right before you. Zack Snyder had a plan. He still has a plan. David Ayer, the same thing. The problem is David Zaslav. The problem is James Gunn and Peter Safran. And the problem is WB themselves, because they don't want to give us, the fans, the consumer, what we want. Once you have all of that element, all of that toxic element out, things will change. Because remember, of course, you have now, what's his name? This dude, David Zaslav, trying to play the blame game and blaming Mike DeLuca and Pam about, the disaster of everything with Joker 2 and stuff like that. But let's not forget, who are they? They're the ones that helped us get the Snyder Cut. Thanks to them, we have the Snyder Cut today because we demanded it. They did what they could. They pulled the strings that they had to, and here we are. We finally have it. The studio just doesn't like to be confronted by us, the fans, and they can't face us. That's the difference. We are too powerful versus the studio, and WB knows it. Our voices are being heard. Our message is being heard loud and clear. You know how many times they must be walking into that studio? Hey, what was today's messages? What's today's calls? Oh, you got this fax, you got this email, restore the Snyderverse. Constantly. It gets to a point where like you're gonna have to do something about it. Right now they cannot do anything just because, like I said, they're still under contract with James Gunn. But like I told y'all, that rumor going around this year for like sometime in the late fall of this year, Peter Safran's contract, it's gonna be out. They're gonna let it expire and they're not gonna renew it. And that's the best thing that they could do. They shouldn't bring nobody. And most of all, they should not bring nobody else from Marvel. They need to stop hiring people from Disney and Marvel. Hire other people. Hell, you got Mike DeLuca right there. Appoint him. Let him be in charge. Let him do his thing, and you will see how things will pick up. But until the studio doesn't do that, of course, nothing is going to change. And that's exactly what we all want. The fans, we've been included and neglected. How? Especially the Snyder community. WB knows that we're here. They know that we exist, but they want to keep us to the side and milk us when they want for when it's beneficial to fill their pockets up. Oh, let's put out some more Batman versus Superman stuff because we know the fans are going to buy it. And there's a big majority of them. Okay, let's do it. And that's why they do it. But we also have to do our part and keep those wallets closed and send the message to the studio and say, hey, look, we're not buying it anymore. They know it. They know that there's quality out there. This is why Christopher Nolan walked away from WB. Why would he walk away? Because shady WB did him dirty also. Snyder, Nolan, and Ayer are best, but also Francis Lawrence is good. He made Masterpiece, Constantine with Keanu Reeves. Hope we will finally get a sequel. Yeah, apparently there's a rumor going around that there's going to be a sequel for that. So that tells you also, like they need to just Own up to their mistakes. Just own up, fix it, and that's it. And a lot of things are going to change from that. Goodness is going to come from it. And it's just nuts. It's completely nuts when you have where this company over 100 years. Look at how bad they're doing. That doesn't make sense. That completely doesn't make sense. And it's just wild. It really is. Exactly. I agree with you, Pedro. Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi, all the way. They know what they're doing. They have a plan. The problem is WB. Look, while we're talking on the subject, still, all right. Of course, DC, Snyderverse, all this stuff with the reboot, change, all that. Look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was rewatching Aquaman today, the first movie, and when I rewatched it, I paid close attention to the part where Aquaman is talking with Mara, where she's like, "Hey, you fought and you defeated Steppenwolf." Let's pause this. Let's pause and just analyze this real quick, all right? You have Aquaman in his own standalone film, finally, all right? Directed by James Wan. Now, when you see the whole movie, you can see that this is James Wan's movie. All right, cool. Nothing wrong with that. But the cherry on the top and the best part is that while this movie was being made, let's not forget that James Wan was consulting Zack Snyder off the storyboards that Zack had originally. That's why this movie is so well made. Of course, it's branching out, it's doing its own thing. You can clearly see some elements of the Hamadaverse already coming into it with the jokes and stuff like that, the brightness. But the point is that James Wan considered and he was consulting Zack Snyder while he made that movie, but he took his original idea and still consulted Zack. Like that's respect completely. And then when you see that, let's go back to the time. We got Justice League at the time, right? Months passed, and what did we get? Aquaman. This is why Aquaman made $1 billion because we had just came off of Justice League. I don't care if it's the Snyder Cut or if it's Justice League. The point is that it's Aquaman, the same actor, coming from a same connected timeline within the same universe. That whole drama with WB and what they did to Zack and what they brought in Joss Whedon, I'm not paying attention to that right now. I'm just paying attention to the point of you have the same actor, Jason Momoa. He's playing Aquaman. There's a time gap from Justice League to Aquaman. In that timeline, Marvel is doing movies and making movies. DC at that time weren't doing anything. And what happened when Aquaman came out? Everybody went to the theaters because they were hungry because we had just came off of Justice League. And then when you see Mara tell Aquaman, she's like, "Hey, you're the rightful king." And he's like, "No, I'm not a king. I'm a nobody." And she's like, "You defeated Steppenwolf." That connects and ties in so much because here you have James Wan acknowledging that Justice League happened. You don't have to do so much, but you're still acknowledging and respecting that timeline. See what I'm saying? So when you look at the big picture, and then of course now we have the Snyder Cut, it makes you appreciate it even more because of course we already know that the Snyder Cut is the main movie of Justice League. I'm just saying it because it's like, how does the studio not see all of this creativity and all of it connects? You want to be like Marvel, all of the pieces of the puzzle are right before you. Except here, they're even bigger than at Marvel. Yeah, Marvel has Thor that connects into the Avengers. You have it with Iron Man, and it connects with this one, and it connects with that one. All right, whatever, that's cool. But Zack wasn't on that level. Zack wasn't focused on, hey, this is going to be exactly like the MCU. This is Zack Snyder doing what he had to do to give us something new, something different. Now, when I finished seeing Aquaman, I'm like, wow. Like, it just leaves me in shock. And I'm like, this movie made $1 billion. Fans were hungry. Fans wanted more. And then what happened after that? Boom. The Hamadaverse started entering. That's when everything started transitioning. Because right after Aquaman, what did we get? I think it was Birds of Prey. And then what went down? Everything went downhill. Because after Birds of Prey, then we ended up getting, I think what it was, Shazam 2 or the first Shazam. I don't remember now. It was just a mess. Everything just kept on getting sloppier and sloppier. And it's like, whoa, what is going on? You see the difference when you have directors such as Patty Jenkins with Wonder Woman, James Wan with Aquaman, and of course you have Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's all under the direction of Zack Snyder. But then you have these two other directors, Patty and James Wan, consulting and going over with Zack. Hey, Zack, you can imagine those conversations, what it would have been like. Hey, Zack, what do you think about this scene? And when you look at one of the scenes, you see Ocean Master when he jumps into the submarine. There's a slow mo shot. That's a Zack Snyder shot. If you go back and look at that, he just jumps out the water. Boom. He does his hero pose, whatever, and it's in slow motion. That's badass. That's Zack Snyder right there. Clearly, I'm looking at it. I'm like, probably James Wan was like, "Hey Zack, what do you think of this scene? What should we do?" And I could just see Zack Snyder the same way how James Gunn has been giving his shitty notes to all these directors and nothing has worked out. On this is different because now you have Zach because he has an idea, he has a plan, and he told James Wan, "Hey, maybe you should just put that shot in slow motion, make the blade go slow, make him, like a badass pose, and he lands, boom, that's it. You see what I'm saying? You still have that dark take. It's still with that whole bright feel, if you want to say, but it was something different. It was something badass where people are gonna be like, "Wow, that's why that movie made the money that it made." Visually, it's amazing. It really is, and that's what they wanted. The studio. All right, you want to be like Marvel? Let Zach do his thing and be the head of DC Studios, and you will see how everything will be. But what happens? No, they want to go with silliness. They want to go more family friendly. Nobody cares about that. If Marvel is doing that and it's working for them, good, good. But what you want to do with right now with James Gunn, it's not working. It completely isn't working. Let's check this out. Yeah, and instead of Snyderverse, he gave us shitty sex jokes about Superman fetish and Batman fast as Aquaman. Exactly. That's what exactly James Gunn is giving us. All of this right here. That's what we don't want. It's a disrespect. That's why to me, it just confuses me when some fans are like, yeah, James Gunn is the one who's cooking. He knows what he's doing. Really? You really gonna say that? Look at Blue Beetle, how they disrespect Batman. And who's the Batman of that timeline? Ben Affleck. So you're disrespecting that one. That's the Batman of that timeline. Peacemaker, the same thing. The silhouettes of the Justice League. Don't even get me started on that. You see what I'm saying? And this is all the studio's fault because they're allowing this. It's like the studio's like, you know what? Let's spit in the face of the fans. We don't care. We're not gonna acknowledge it. They're not gonna notice it. But look at what's happening to them. See what I'm saying? That's why it cracks me up when sometimes fans say, "Oh, you Snyder fans are not the majority." Oh, really? Really? We're not the majority? So why they want to keep remilking us with Batman versus Superman? How many times do you need to put that movie in every version? Every version. Probably when the movies come out like holograms and stuff, they're probably gonna do it. Oh, watch Batman versus Superman hologram edition, and they're still gonna try to remilk us. I'm just exaggerating, but you see what I'm saying? They're just trying to remilk us because they know that there's still money to be made there. How come you don't see the studio putting out, "Oh, let's re-release James Gunn's The Suicide Squad"? How come you don't see that? You don't see that, right? Exactly. I rest my case. See what I'm saying? It comes to that point where it's like, you know what? Just give the fans what they truly want. What's so hard? What's so hard? Your ego? Put the ego to the side. If you put your ego to the side and just cater and listen to your fans, you wouldn't be in the situation that you are right now. WB would not be in the situation that they're in. But that proves to you and it shows to you Stephen Wolf was badass, and his CGI was amazing and realistic, like Thanos CGI. Exactly, exactly, my friend. That right there is a good point. Look at this. Look at the Joss Whedon's Stephen Wolf, and you cannot compare that to Zack Snyder. I mean, it's a big difference. See what I'm saying? It's like again, the studio. The studio is the ones that have allowed all this to happen. This is not the fans' fault. You can't blame the fans for not coming out and showing up. No, you didn't give the fans what they want. Now the fans are together and they're like, you know what? We see through your bullshit. Honestly, we just do. It's completely. It's just you don't. It just doesn't make sense. Exactly, Marco. I agree with you. It's not Clooney's Batman. It's DCU's Batman. Exactly. And who's the Batman of the DCEU? Ben Affleck's Batman. See what I'm saying? That's why it's like the Flash flopped, not because of what it was, it's because how they did it. And clearly we could see James Gunn's influence. Whoever tells me otherwise, look, I'm telling you straight up, it was James Gunn's influence because that movie got completely changed back to back. And when you look at it, Ben Affleck's Batman has always been the Batman of this timeline. There was no need for them to bring in Michael Keaton. I'm telling you right now, there was no need for them to bring in for the Flash Michael Keaton. They just wanted to erase everything that Zack was creating, and we could see it clearly because we could see that they bring in Zod and they bring Supergirl and that whole timeline where they're trying to reset time, and it's like they keep on bumping. How do we erase it? How do we erase it? How do we delete all of this? Joke's on them. You can't. It's always going to be there. 50 years down the road from now, you're still going to look back and be like, the Snyderverse was onto something. What happened? The executives. That's what's happening. When you have these poor executives doing bad decisions, it all catches up. It really does. And look at where they're at right now. And that's the same thing that's happening to Marvel with Disney. They have no ideas. Oh, that's right. They don't have Zack Snyder, so they can rip off his ideas, copy and paste, and just rechange it so they can have a new product, right? Notice how Marvel has been struggling. That's what I'm telling you. It's like this is completely like it's just words to describe it are not left anymore just because of that. If they would have focused on the Flash with Ben Affleck as the Batman, because he's the main Batman through the whole film, I guarantee you that movie would have been different. You didn't need to bring in because of the multiverse Michael Keaton. You didn't have to bring in George Clooney because clearly you're replacing trying to say he's the Batman, but from what? Like, why are you doing that? It just doesn't make sense. It is what it is. This is what happens. This is where the studio is at. But in due time, they're gonna have to learn and see that you know what you gotta cater to the fans. When you don't give them what they want, it all is gonna come down. You know. And this whole thing with Robert Pattinson and his Batman, the Batman 2 or whatever. Look, don't be surprised if also that gets either delayed or canceled because there's still no script, but they're about to start shooting at the end of this year. Make it make sense. I thought James Gunn said they weren't gonna approve anything unless there's a solid script. Again, he's lying to us. See what I'm saying? That's why I don't believe anything that James Gunn says. Even the pictures that he posts are not, like they're not legit because James Gunn is already known as a liar, and that's what he is. He's always going to be one of those. Exactly. James, I agree with you. Zach is a visionary. Gunn is a counterfeiter. That's exactly true. Now the rumor is going around that James Gunn wants to do a Batman versus Superman. Dude, just admit it. You want to be like Zack Snyder. You want to copy and paste because that's all you do, and you just want to be like Zack Snyder. But you'll never be Zack Snyder. That's the beauty. You will never be Zack Snyder. And his fans know it. James Gunn will never be on the level of Zack Snyder. I'm telling y'all straight up. When it comes to movies, he will never be on his level. At Marvel, let him do whatever he wants to do over at Marvel. That's weird Marvel, weird James Gunn. But here at DC, these characters are serious. They're supposed to be serious characters, not goofballs. And that's what they've turned them into complete goofballs. They even turned Batman. Remember, in The Flash, look at how they made Ben Affleck's Batman look. Oh, I'm too, I'm like his ego. Like, oh, I can't say that, like, I'm mistaking or whatever it is that he says. I don't remember. That's how bad it is. I can't remember it. His ego is far too big to thank Wonder Woman. I was like, that ain't Ben Affleck's Batman. I was like, hell no, that's not what Zach gave us. Come on, man. And then they're like, oh, it's all a joke. Everything is a joke. See what I'm saying? That's why with this whole thing with Andy Muschietti, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Like Batman Brave and the Bold is going to be, if we even get there, is going to be a full on comedy. And the same thing is going to happen with Superman. I'm telling y'all, Superman this summer is going to be full of jokes, is going to be woke, and is going to be a disaster. Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's what he says. Thank you, Alfred. My ego is far too big to thank you. Come on, man. Come on. That clearly you could see that that's something James Gunn would have written, and he would have been like, "Hey, look, it'll be funny if he does this and he says this." Come on, those are the famous notes. That's what I'm telling you. I don't buy anything that James Gunn puts out there completely. It's just yeah, exactly. James Gunn's like that kid that shows off his toys but won't share it with anyone with other kids. Yeah, because that's exactly how he is. His ego. He doesn't allow his ego to let him actually fully focus, and that's something that he can never change. At this age, he can't change that. He's gonna be who he is, and that's what he's doing, ruining this brand. That's what I'm telling y'all. That rumor floating around with that his contract next year is going to expire. WB is not going to renew it. If I was WB, I wouldn't renew that. For what? I'll be like, what am I going to renew my contract with you for? You're costing me more than what you're making us profit. If you add up everything that James Gunn has done under his leadership all these years, I'm telling you right now, there's more in the negative than there is in the positive. And it's crazy. It's sad, but at the same time, as a visionary, it's amazing to see how Zack Snyder filmed in his backyard with some green screen that lantern scene with Wayne T. Carr, and what he did with Jared Leto, and what he did with Joe, I can't pronounce his name, Joe as Deathstroke, in a backyard on green screen, and look at the quality that we got with that. But meanwhile, James Gunn's getting all of this money. He's getting approved by WB, and what happens at the end? He's putting shitty products out there. That's it. It's trash. It's completely like, yo, like seriously, this is what you're doing. Where's all the money going to? Is they're just pocketing it. They get 300 million. What do you think these reshoots that they're doing, that they're free? They're not free. They have to pay money also. The studio's losing more money. They know that come this summer, they know they're not gonna make all that money back, and that's gonna hurt them in the long run even more. That's why they have to seriously consider and look at it and say, you know what? What do we do now? You know what you need to do. You know, are they gonna do it? We don't know. All we need to do is keep on voicing our voice, and that's why I keep on telling y'all, keep on using that hashtag restore the Snyderverse. That's making a lot of noise. It trends, it moves, it's attention. And what do we do as fans? You might be like, oh, what do I do to help out? Very simple. All you have to do is just keep your wallet closed. That's it. You don't have to buy and support anything that they're putting out. And while you see how their stocks continue to go down every time more and more, we're winning, because it shows you that the studio is not getting away with what they thought they could do, and that's ripping us, the customer. You can't rip us off, because in the end, we're the ones that open or close our wallets. And in this situation, we're going to keep our wallets closed, because enough is enough. The fun and games stop this summer, because I'm telling y'all, from now until July, you're going to see how they're going to ramp up and try to come up with all these fake marketing strategies and all these fake marketing ads, and say all type of things. And don't be surprised if you see again James Gunn post up a picture or something related with Zack Snyder or the Snyderverse. Don't fall for it, my friends. Notice how Zack didn't even post it or acknowledge that picture on any of his social media, but he did do it with other people that he's come across. That tells you everything. But yeah, so I'm about to wrap up this live stream. I truly appreciate everybody for watching, all that good stuff. You all know how we do it on here. Hopefully, soon in a few days, I should be doing that live stream also with Harsh Critics. So look out for that too. We're gonna go ham on that. So, like I said, things uh things have to be said the way that they have to be said, honestly, because if we don't do it, who's gonna do it? We're the fan. We have to do what we have to do. Exactly. Just trying to do it out there. I've been seeing y'all putting those comments, and here we are making these moves and doing what we have to do. Hopefully as the channel continues to grow, that's helping out a lot. That's another thing too. We are about to hit 2000 very soon. That is amazing. That just shows how our community, and when I say our and I say we, it's not me. Even though it's the channel, this is for y'all. I do this for each and every one of you. Like I said, look, today we spoke about things within the community, when it comes to these toys and these companies. We jump to DC, we talk about Transformers, we talk about Marvel, we talk a little bit of everything within this fandom, all right? And like I told y'all, like I want to do some changes to the channel, still staying true and talking about, course, the usual content. And I know many of you be telling me, hey, you should talk about other stuff. But I talk about what's trending with this topic and what's hot because, look, I try to talk about other things and I can see it by the views. Y'all see it, like the views tell you what people are watching and it shows to you, look, this is what the fans want. So, like, I try to give different content, but at the same time, I'm still trying to stay on top of it because I'm telling you, as we get closer to Superman, it's just going to be even more of a hot topic. And just seeing the memes, oh, you have to see those. Like, it's nuts. It's completely nuts. Yeah, what's up, Shane? Let me know what's up. Yeah, it's pretty wild. With the things I want to do and stuff like that, everything is just time and stuff. So, like I said, I've been seeing your comments, and I see everybody. It's just hard to get to everybody. So, again, bear with me and things like that. So, uh, some food reviews. Nah, that's a whole different thing, man. That's like a cooking channel. Like that's a whole different thing. That would be fun though. Maybe like one of those like random things I'll do it, but that would be pretty crazy. Yeah, I saw the thing that you said about the that it's supposed to be a plot, I guess, or something. What is it? I know I just saw it somewhere around here. It's supposed to be a pilot. I mean, um, yeah, I'm not even interested, honestly. Just hearing what they're trying to do, I'm really not even interested in that. It's just it's gonna be completely, this is gonna be completely foolishness. Honestly, never stop Snyderverse content. Oh no, for sure, my friend. I ain't stopping that. They want me to stop. Nah, I'm not stopping about that. The fast food stuff like pizza, that would have to be something like different, like really different. But I mean, there's some good spots that I know and things like that. So who knows? I mean, anything can come. That's interesting to see that one, honestly. Let me just take a few more comments. Oh, Lantern Corps? No Lantern Corps? Nah, I didn't see that one. Which one are you talking about? Probably I passed it that I didn't really see it. Post it real quick before I get going, but I don't think I did see it. Yeah, there's I'm just trying to catch up. Hold on, let me see. Oh, is it this one? The Lantern Show plot is them doing day to day crap on Earth. Yawn. Oh no. They're just trying to use the name of Lanterns so they can go ahead and get people to watch it. Oh no. I'm telling you, that James Gunn has completely run out of ideas. He doesn't have no ideas left anymore. This is why I'm telling you, from now to July, they're literally digging their own hole, and by the time they realize, they're not gonna be able to get out of it completely. It's are you gonna review Gunbot's most anticipated movie, Disney Snow White? I don't know, man. I really don't know. I They're already predicting that it's going to be a flop. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. I mean, I'll probably check it out. I'm not. I'm probably gonna check it out just for the hell of it. Honestly. Hell, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm probably more excited to see Snow White than I am to see Superman from James Gunn. That tells you a lot. That says a lot. That would be pretty dope though, to see that. That's gonna be crazy. Food reviews would be cool. Damn, all right, so I'm gonna have to consider that food thing. That's already like two people asking for that. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I might throw something like that. So yeah, that Snow White is a miscast completely. That movie's going to tank so bad. It's going to be really, really bad. I mean, this is just gonna be terrible, honestly. But let's see what happens. Of course, we already know that this week probably more news is gonna come out, and as we get closer to Superman, this whole thing with DC, it's just right now is bonkers. WB is bonkers right now, and it's just they don't know. They're completely lost. It's like they hit a dead end and they don't know what to do. The same thing with that reboot of Batman they're doing for the comics. I mean, how many times do you have to reboot every single time? That's what I'm saying. It's like it's too much. It gets to the point where it's just like, you know what? It's just way too much. And it's like, don't they have a new one now, Absolute Batman? I still haven't seen or read it. I know people are saying that it's real good. I haven't checked it out. I might check it out. It's just like I said, it's hard for me to read comics just because you have to make the time for it and stuff like that. I'm a busy person, so it's just at times I just try to and I can't. I have comics myself and I haven't even read them just because of the time and stuff like that. I look at the art and things like that, but maybe I'll get to that, hopefully soon. But exactly, no need to restart. Yeah, Snow White completely. You know what, just for that I think I'm gonna have to go watch Snow White, honestly. um just because I gotta see how ridiculous that movie is going to be. We'll see what happens though. But yeah, all right, let me get going. I appreciate y'all for watching. I'll try to come back tomorrow again to do another live stream if anything. But if not, then again, I appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all have a good weekend, good night, good day, wherever you are around the world. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, peace.